about it.
Okay, it's 4:04 and November 18th, Thursday, November 18th, and we're ready to start the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority Facilities Committee meeting. And we'll start with agenda item A, Ogdensburg International Airport. So you want to start?
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, we'll need a motion to go into executive session
Okay, so.
For, excuse me, for what
to
reason?
discuss the potential sale of real property.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay, we are back from executive session. It is 4:59 and we are back in the open meeting and would defer to you.
Yes, there's three items that I'd like to bring up. One of them is concerning, we had a request to have a property used for a dog park on our trail. So here, I'm going to give you another Google map of
Yeah.
I really just need to know whether this is something you
Thank you.
want me to keep going with, or
Thank you.
I can tell you a little bit more. Apparently, there's three individuals who kind of put together a group, and they looked at three spots and they liked, that's right at the beginning of the trail down here off of Proctor. You can can you see, does it make sense to you?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's just a rough area. It could be wider or bigger.
Isn't that the Felsco?
I don't know.
Yes, it is
But
Defosca.
Okay.
that's just.
But this is where they, like the
The
ball, where they play baseball
they
softball
go there.
Up
would be-
further.
Baseball's up
Yeah.
here.
is up where? Oh, up here, up here, up here. Yes, okay,
So
gotcha.
that's just where you start.
Yes.
You start there. So
Okay,
that would be the only spot that I would recommend. It could be a little wider or longer. They wanted to divide it into two for smaller dogs and larger dogs. If they need equipment, they would be going out for all of that. But I said that I would bring it to the facilities committee to see if they wanted, want to go forward with exploring that.
what are the proposed dimensions of this, Steve?
They haven't given me those yet. I just
Oh.
put that in there as a rough
Okay,
area with that.
and it would be,
Fenced,
yep, fenced in.
fenced, and then they have all of the doggy playthings or things like that. But they're quite popular in the cities
Mhm.
everywhere. And then they would be responsible for maintaining it and keeping it clean and things like that.
Who are you looking
Yeah,
at
so-
for fence?
What's
What,
that?
what type of fence?
I'd imagine it'd probably be chain link, or maybe there's a safety type of fence. I don't know.
We want something that would look somewhat attractive.
Look attractive and get control dogs.
Yes.
But not screening, you'd want for security's sake. You wouldn't want like a 6-foot high solid picket fence or something, but that could be something that we could, well, they'd bring their plan together and then we'd approve it. But they first asked if there was land they could purchase. And I said, not for that kind of thing, but we do land use type of things. And then we could talk about how,
Just think about 20,000 for that piece of property on the other side.
There you go. Now you're talking.
we're trying.
I know.
Well, I've noticed an increase in the number of people who use our trail and who walk dogs. So now at that, people have to clean up after their dogs. I think that's only right considering other people just walk on the trail. So I like the idea of a dog park, so long as it's done so that it enhances the area surrounding it.
Well, we'd work out a land use agreement that would meet, everything. We'd have to review it and try to think of everything that, and the thing is, it's not rocket science. It's done everywhere. So
Right.
I
Right.
think we could find something that would work right there. So I can give them a call back and just say that we are interested, or did you want to take it to the full board right now?
My question about this would be, because I don't know who this group is, if they have like a, I don't want to say an LLC, but like, we would run this certainly by Jennifer, but I would just want to make sure like the indemnification is in place. So
Yeah, that's-
someone gets attacked by a dog and all of a sudden, just to make sure that, but to find out the credentials of who the they
Right,
is.
right.
Yeah, okay. That would be my only concern, but I think it really adds to the feel of the recreational
Well,
nature of the
and-
area.
And just, we can put a caveat that you need to come and make a presentation to the board.
Mhm.
And you'd have to get a feel for you may, just like, we've never done this before, but if they can make us feel comfortable with it, or we think they've thought of everything. But
Right.
to your point, yeah, well, how will they be around for 10 years? Right.
Or who it's just like, if it's just a group of people that, hey, this is a great idea, let's do it. But it has to run a little deeper than
Sure,
that.
sure.
So,
I personally am not for it.
Okay.
I think there's plenty of places to walk our dog and I see too many issues. So in order for me to change my mind about that, I would have to be convinced that it was a good thing.
mhm.
We just don't need more distraction. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's fine.
When you say, you mean everybody, or do you mean the OBPA?
The OBPA,
Okay.
we don't need distraction. We do good things here. And I'm not saying that's not a good thing. We have the trails they can walk on and do their thing. And I don't know. I mean, I want to be a good neighbor and a good,
No, I
Person and all
appreciate
that.
you saying that,
Yeah.
only that, you want to do stuff for the community, but at the same time, are we biting off more than, that we need it?
we would need to explore this a little more for me to come. Obviously, they're more comfortable about it than I am, and that's fine. I just need to be convinced, I guess. But the board, I'm sure, would probably go with this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just, I'm not sure, but at the same time, I'm not gonna speak for you and just say, no, we don't want to talk about it, so I'm just,
I think we need a thorough and complete presentation with all bases covered. We need to talk about safety, liability, materials
yeah.
used, specs, like all of it.
Check with Jennifer. make
Yeah,
sure what
well, then
need.
we also
Yep.
remember we
Yep.
have a beach coming, like, we just have to factor it all in.
Yep. okay.
Yep, the beach, the dogs,
What do you want for the
February.
next step on that? then?
I will just call them back and then say that, and I will talk with Jennifer from Volatus and just say, and then she may have some things on the legal end of it that we need, and then we'll say, this may be down the road, obviously, probably for springtime, so maybe they won't be here until February, or see where they're at. And then, you don't know how, how committed they are to it, so
Are they going to want other things like water?
I don't know.
That would be on them.
Yeah,
We're not gonna do that.
no, but,
Yeah.
so anyway, I'll just call them back on that, okay?
Okay.
The next one is, we have a fiber optic network in the park that needs an addition to that, to Anson. It's to tie in both Anson buildings. So the Dank did our network, our fiber network in the park, and they're adding on to, they're going to add on, and what they're doing is they're tying the Anson building over beyond Liberty, the gas company, and they bought our building 7. It's the gray building along 37. So they're not, this is really just enhancing our, it's an addition to our fiber network. We got a grant from the Northern Border Regional Commission back in 2014. And Dank did all the work for us. And at the time, Anson wasn't included. And I don't think, at the time, I don't think they owned building 7. So those weren't included. So this is all on them, Anson, and the added fiber. It's between them and Dank. I did, on one of these, you'll see, let's see, page this second page there, you'll see a little green dot on one of the maps. They're putting in a handhold there, which would allow us to go across the road, meaning coming this way. And so that we could tie, if we did any buildings across, we have looked at a couple areas there, we could tie right in there. So I did get them to put that in, so there's a benefit there. But we didn't do right of ways or anything like that because this is all, we own this. But they're putting it in on behalf of Anson to strengthen our fiber network. I just wanted to make you aware of that before I gave them the go ahead. They'd like to start in December. So I'm asking you, I don't know if it needs to go to a board resolution if we can do that, but with the weather closing in, they were kind of in a hurry, but I wasn't going to give them a go ahead without bringing it at least to the facilities committee.
What's your pleasure? You want to vote or you want this to go to board?
I feel like this is so far out of my skill set. I'm going to really defer to everyone else. I mean, I think that it sounds like it's just only going to benefit our infrastructure. So for that reason, I mean, it sounds like it would be a great go ahead, but.
And it is well done. When you see those yellow boxes, it's basically how they're going to do everything, like they're going to bore. So it's all pretty well spelled out. And
Yep.
A lot of the boring, they have Syracuse Utilities do their boring. They did all of ours. They're responsible if they hit any utilities or anything like that. So I've had always good luck with Dank did the airport, some of the fiber out there, then they did the park, and I've always had a great relationship with working with them as far as that goes.
When's our meeting?
December 9th.
December,
To what?
The 16th, maybe.
Sorry, yes. you're right.
Not really in time, probably, is it?
What's that?
Not in time for, they want to get going.
Yeah, they do want to get going.
You want to vote from us? Is that what you'd like?
I would like that.
So I would entertain a motion if somebody wants to give one.
I will make the motion
that we proceed with this?
that we proceed with the fiber optic project.
I second.
Okay, and no more discussion, I'm assuming, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, that motion will pass, so.
All right, thank you. And the last discussion item was the SkyWest scheduling. And some discussion on the presentation by Stephen Baldwin.
Space and Commerce.
Space and Commerce Park was on here too.
Mhm.
Did we miss that? Yes, it's on this.
On the agenda.
Space and Commerce.
We wanted to talk about Space and Commerce Park.
I think we might have had that discussion in the executive session.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes, same thing.
So you want to talk about,
SkyWest scheduling, we kind of at the last meeting here, after, we didn't really have if we wanted to talk more and then have Stephanie here so that you could.
Better read it before we go any further. What?
Better read?
No.
Oh. Better?
Halfway there.
well, we need to visit with them a little bit about trying to make schedules a little better on our end, right? And how to make that happen.
Yes.
What's a good way of doing that?
Well, what I found out on Tuesday was the gentleman that was in charge of planning had left the company. And I was obviously emailing the wrong person and calling the wrong person. So I had an email with
It stopped.
I had an email on Tuesday from Dan Belmont, who now stepped up to be the person in charge, and I have not yet gotten his mailing address. I'd asked if we can speak again on the flight schedule for OGS. What are the changes in January? And the current flights are not customer friendly. And I've been seeing a lot of delays. We'd like to know what the breakdown is. I only made one copy of this, but he responded and said, well, Reddy's no longer at SkyWest. The January schedule is rough. Unfortunately, United has reduced their bank structure into IAD from 4 banks to 3 starting in January. You'll see the structure below that the first departure bank.
What is a bank, just so that you.
Yeah.
Okay, a bank is when you're at a large hub airport, a time when all the flights come in at one point, an hour, hour and a half goes by, everybody can change flights, and then there's an outbound bank.
Okay.
So United had 4 banks. They're switching it to 3. The first one, the arrivals start at Dulles at 9:05 and they end at 9:50 in the morning. The departure bank starts at 10:30 in the morning and ends at 11:20 in the morning. So our flights are going out from Dulles to here at 11:15. And I don't understand this because the arrival time is 15:36, which is just, I don't know what they're doing, they're flying around the country. I have to double check that with them.
Wait, what are the 3 outbanks?
The 3 outbanks,
The first one is 10:30 to 11:20.
yes, the other one is 5:05,
This is all PMA.
yes,
Okay.
5:05 to 5:50 PM. And 10 PM to 10:30 PM. I can email you, I can forward all this information to you because it shows the maps of their destinations and so on.
So in order to get an early flight out of Dulles, passenger has to be there approximately 9:30, 9:45. When is our first flight out of here?
Our first flight out of here
Where's this?
is,
Where'd you get that? You're all right.
This was in,
it is now, it's going to change
oh,
to, I'm sorry, 1:50 PM.
Whoa, wait,
It'll be our first flight out.
That's unacceptable. Right? If you're getting out, what'd you say, 1:15 PM? Is our
No,
fir-
1:50, 1:49 PM.
That's gonna be when, in January?
arriving in at Dulles
At 3:30.
So you don't fly out of Dulles until 5:05 at the earliest,
and their outbank, they're not, you're landing here, and so the next outbank is 5:05,
right?
Yes.
if you can even get a connecting flight.
Okay, is that from the?
This was from the PowerPoint.
Okay, well, this is what we have currently. The PowerPoint is what we have currently.
Right, okay.
And this is new, I got on Tuesday. I will send you the email chain.
When is the second flight?
The second flight of the day will be, it will leave DC at 5:05 PM and get here at 7:30.
Yeah, but when is I meant the second flight that departs Ogden.
From here to there.
So the first one is at 1:50, and when's the second one?
Okay. It will depart at 7:30
At night.
PM.
What the hell?
Because that's not good for vacationers or business
Not
travel.
good for anybody.
It's not good for anybody.
Anybody.
Okay,
Did you want to read my letter?
so that's the same. So that is
I
not
mean,
going to change.
Now's a good time to read my letter.
Okay, yeah.
And
What time does the 7:30 get in?
9:15, right? Well, that's according to this chart.
That's
totally unacceptable.
Right.
it departs, I'm sorry. It departs, want stuff. It departs DC at 5:05 and gets in here at 6:45.
Right, because that's their out bank. Their second out bank is at 5:05.
But the 7:30 going in,
It will, 7:30 you leave Ogdensburg
Right,
and you get into DC at 9:15 or 9:16.
9:16. So you could hit the last bank at 10
10
PM.
PM,
maybe,
maybe,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
depending
If you
on
can
the
run
gates,
fast.
if there's a
Maybe.
delay, all of that.
Mhm.
So when is our second flight gets in? Is that 3?
Everything's flying out of there.
3:30.
3:30?
1:50
Right,
PM,
right.
3:30, and then the second one at
So interrupt me anytime you want before I get too nasty. This whole thing is obviously not to our advantage.
Correct.
Our, meaning the Bridge and Port Authority, as operator of the airport. And it certainly doesn't do anything for any of our customers. So, and my thought is to go to United or SkyWest and say, are you crazy? You're not doing anything to help our traffic out of here. And let's go back to our original contract with them.
That's right.
If I remember right, it says they were going to provide the same level of service as before. Well, they didn't, because on purpose, they dropped Chicago, knowing that they could probably make more money by having another flight into Chicago that took our spot from some other community. I get it. That's business. I don't like it, but I get it. But in this case, with this schedule, they are absolutely hurting our ability to increase our passenger load at our airport. And I don't like it. And if that's the way they're going to be, I want to look at their contract. And I'm going to send, not this letter I wrote here, but another letter to them and on to Senator Schumer and others saying they're not abiding by the contract we have with SkyWest. No way. No matter how they frame it, it isn't happening.
Yeah.
They're hurting our ability to provide service for people in our area.
Are they setting us up so that they can say they don't want EAS here next time around?
No, yes is a choice by
Yeah.
Congress.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Has nothing to do with, they
No,
can't,
but they can get out from under.
no.
No,
No.
they can't.
No, they can't,
no,
They
it
can't.
doesn't.
but can we?
We can,
No, I'm not saying now, I'm saying at the end of this contract.
No, I'm saying before then.
Right.
no, the end of this contract, we go out for bid,
Right,
Then they can bid or not.
right.
or they can bid or
Right.
not bid.
Right, they can say they don't want to do it.
Now, the problem is we went with a 3-year contract thinking we would lock it in. But not at this level of service because it isn't, we're not being serviced properly, in my opinion.
Well, it could be a breach of our contract.
Yes,
So,
we have to take a look at that and see if that is in fact the case. Another part of this email said, I'm afraid that this is as good as things can be for the time being on schedules. We've been seeing challenges on our operational performance as well, mostly on the maintenance side. We've had to do a lot of catch up on the hiring side of things, and it's taken a toll on our ability to deal with interruptions to our system.
That's bullshit. I don't want to hear that. I
While we
don't
do
wanna-
expect delays to happen, our ability to cope with them efficiently has been diminished due to our labor pool being spread thinner than we would like.
That's easy to provide an excuse to us.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the template to everybody else.
That
Exactly.
is what I got. I will forward this email to you. I also got a few more pieces of information. Right now, they said they see about 540 passengers booked out of Ogdensburg from November 16th through the 30th, and 660 booked in December,
But the new schedule goes into effect in January.
January.
Jesus.
So I also asked about our top destinations because it's been a while since they've given it to us,
Mhm.
and it's changed. Our top destination is now Denver, Orlando second, Raleigh, Durham, Chicago, then Tampa, then Fort Myers, Houston, Atlanta, LAX, Dallas, Fort Worth, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Charlotte, Phoenix, Greenville Spartansburg, which still, it was on,
North Carolina.
Mhm.
yeah, it was on the,
Carolina.
it was on the last time, and then Fort Lauderdale.
All it takes with that number of people is a family flying to that location to change your
Yeah.
destination, right? So
Right. I mean,
We are close,
am I wrong in what I'm thinking?
you're not at all wrong. This is correct.
Okay.
but we have, yeah, we do have to look at that. And I think there are some other issues that are going on with their system, because we had 38 people in the hold room this morning, and something happened in DC and the flight was delayed. So they sent everybody to Syracuse.
By bus.
I don't know how they sent them, but they got them all to Syracuse, and we've been getting complaints because they went to Syracuse, from Syracuse to LaGuardia, and LaGuardia, they were going to DC. And we've been getting calls from LaGuardia that people that they said that they booked through, they didn't. Party of 4, 2 of them got booked through and 2 of them didn't.
So their
that-
final destination was DC. So they went Ogdensburg, Syracuse, LaGuardia, DC.
Yes,
And we don't know what that time span even looked like. It could have been
No.
through the night. It could have been,
And if anybody had a connection.
Right.
get
You
that.
lost
Therein lies why you hear from people, you know, they have those delays and they say, oh, never again,
right.
right? And it's too bad because my experience, just luck of the draw, has been wonderful. But I can imagine anybody who has that experience would be just
Mhm.
beside themselves.
One
The
of my
biggest issue I have is
concerns
the timing.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't get, unless you, and now if they change those things, you're basically saying, don't fly out loud.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's like
exactly.
we get the PR hit. You know,
Yes.
people aren't saying, oh, I'll never fly, you know, SkyWest again.
Right,
They
because
just associate it with,
they have the contract. Their overhead is paid for by the federal government. Anyone that they put in the seat is gravy for them.
Well,
So we need to explore, we probably need to send a letter, which you're drafting
Right.
on our behalf, which is fine.
so you're
And
sending that to the airlines.
mhm.
Okay.
we need to probably,
Check the
how
contract.
do we get a meeting? Which, I think
At the very least.
at the very least, how do we get a meeting?
Okay.
And we probably should start nicely, right?
Mhm.
But
Maybe I
We
shouldn't
need to
show
be-
up then.
no, but we need to be prepared to, because you know, that you're going to get, I think we need to be ready.
Well, I think we have to push back a little bit.
There should be some control on our end, the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority over that contract. We need to have maybe Jennifer look at that and see what our options are.
Yes.
Technically, it's not our contract, it's the federal government's contract. So if
Correct.
the federal government, if it's not meeting,
Well, it's not.
Well, there's probably a clause or something in there where we as a airport can complain to the Department of Transportation, not the FAA.
Right,
It's the US DOT.
right.
So you can say, we're, you know, you almost, aside from them, Schumer and whoever, the
Gillibrand.
letter should go to, you have a contact there because with the
Federal DOT.
DOT.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so
And he's
that's
been
what,
very responsive.
yeah, so he should know what's going on here.
Mhm.
And then probably we should do like a telecon. It went, you know, when we teleconned all those people that wanted, when we first were looking at, and we were impressed with SkyWest. If you remember their offices.
Oh, absolutely.
No,
Well, I feel that that's what we need. We need to express and just get it out there, and at least they need to know, how the landscape looks here to us. And then, hopefully, if we just let it go, nothing's gonna happen.
right.
Right,
Right.
all right.
Can't do that.
That's totally unacceptable. That will not fly with any vacation people.
No,
That's right.
It just-
Or business travelers. I mean, both, right? I
Right.
mean,
and we have government officials from Canada
mhm.
who come here to get that flight to DC.
7:45, right?
The board is just,
We'll have more, but
just
more.
multiple reasons not to do this.
Yeah.
So our plan of action is the letter. Steve's gonna work on getting more. Steve,
I'll work
I
with
guess
Stephanie, and
So you'll
we'll
get-
try to set something up where
we need to,
we can all get in a room and air our grievances.
Give Jen an update. Maybe dig out our contract rate. Let Jen know what's going on.
I know I have it at home. I'm gonna read that thing over and over.
Fine tooth comb, right?
okay. What else?
That is all I have.
Did you want to discuss the volume?
Oh, that's,
No,
No. Do you?
no, don't have.
not now.
No.
There's no need to discuss the Baldwin thing, is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Based on that scheduling, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right.
That's absolutely correct. Matter of fact, we could probably say thank you and don't get to pay you anymore. It's kind of crazy. It's
It's very
At this point-
comprehensive.
I agree.
Very-
Why would we,
Why, until
Go
we can
forward.
make something. I don't know if I'm completely wrong on that, but until we can get something even remotely correct, why explore it?
Well, the flight schedule has to come first. This is an issue that has to get ironed out. And then moving forward, I mean, my understanding of this, the takeaways are spelled out very clearly about, you know, the catchment, the demographic information, all of that. We have very specific things that we need to start gathering, but this is our priority.
See, we were gonna have them collect some license plate data and all that, but there's, to me, no sense, because.
Well, unless they can help us with some of those things, we'd have to look at that. I would agree with you that going forward, we really need to say to them is that until we get a handle on things, there's no, unless they say, well, we can take care of this and that whatever we pay them, $3,500 a month, if they can actually turn things, or, you know, working concurrent with us that are of value, then yes, but it just seems like we've got too much to do right now. And I don't know, maybe they can make me see the light of what they can bring to it, but right now, just as for what we've signed up for, I don't think it's enough.
See, I think part of it is they are not leaving the plane here overnight. The plane goes back to DC
right.
and then it comes here in the morning. If they would switch it around like it was in the past, it stayed here overnight, so you had the morning flight out. So it would be there before whatever that first, during that first bank.
10:30.
It'd be like a
Sometimes
7:30
they
plane.
fly in and drop passengers off here.
Right now, they fly from,
They fly in at what time do they get in?
right now, they're getting it at 9:30 in the morning and turning around.
And they drop passengers off.
They drop passengers
So
off.
the only advantage of getting that, just be out there in January, is that you don't have to plow the runway as early in the morning. I mean, you gotta keep up with it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's not critical to where they're waiting to go at 7:30 and
Right,
you're still,
Yeah,
you know,
from an operational point
the
of
sun's
view,
out a little bit.
it's easy, but that's not what we're here for.
That's right.
But if they overnighted the plane, they'd want to get it in before the first bank in the morning.
You get it,
So,
get utilization out of it all day.
so the first, the arrival from 9 o'clock to 9:50, it would be 7:30, 7:45 departing from here to get in for that first bank, and then the turnaround would come back from 10, leave at 10:30, between 10:30 and 11:30, basically. So you'd have them here 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then an afternoon flight out. And
So
back.
we need to get their attention.
Mhm.
Clearly, we don't have it. So that's, I guess we got a plan to get started
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go from there.
Yes, we've had a lot of phone calls too, because of course in the news, they announced United's cutting back on their flights. And we've had a lot of phone calls. Was Ogdensburg cut? Read the paper. We wanted that. Nope.
Well, so we're still getting what, 12 flights a week?
Oh, absolutely.
But it doesn't matter with that schedule.
Right.
All right, what else?
That's it.
That's it. Anything else? You guys got anything else? Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing? Motion to adjourn?
I'll so move.
Second,
All those in favor?
Yeah.
aye,
And we are adjourned.
what time is it?
5:30.